Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum, sister, brothers and friends. This is third part of story of Musa. So friends, due to the continuous rejection of faith by Firawn and his people, Musa was commanded by Allah Almighty to leave Egypt with Bani Israel. During the night hours, this was going to be difficult journey since the Bani Israel impressed of hundreds of men, women and children. Crowd Firawn set out his army to follow and looked out on the Bani Israel. When Bani Israel faced the Haq army of Firawn, many of them with faith got frightened and said, and when the two hosts saw each other, the people of Musa said, we are sure to be overtaken. So friends, Prophet Musa with him, his firm faith in Allah Almighty said, no need, with me is my Lord, He will guide me. Allah Almighty spared Musa to move towards the Red Sea, and as they reached Bani Israel, started panicking, feeling as there was no escape from the sea in front of and Firawn's army behind. Despite witnessing many signs from Allah Almighty, some of Bani Israel felt weak and did not trust Allah Almighty and feared their lives. Prophet Musa received revelations from Allah Almighty, and Allah Almighty mentioned in the Qur'an, then we inspired Musa, strike with your staff the sea, and it parted, and each portion will like a great towering mountain, mentioned in the Qur'an. So Prophet Musa struck his stick on the sea parted into two, always, and stood like hug mountains on either side, making a way in between to walk. The Bani Israel crossed the sea effortlessly by the mercy of Allah Almighty and were happy for this divine help. So friends, Firawn and his army when approached the sea and saw the Bani Israel cross the sea so easily, their hearts filled with arrogance and disbelief, thought they could also cross the sea like them. They entered the sea after the Bani Israel passed through it. And as the army of Firawn entered the sea and tried to cross, Allah Almighty collapsed the mountains of the sea water over them and drowned them. Realizing his inescapable death, Firawn proclaimed that the believers in Allah Almighty and he is a Muslim. Allah Almighty says in Qur'an, and we took the children of Israel across the sea and Firawn and his soldiers pushed them in the tyranny and enmity until we overtook him. He said, I believe that there is no deity except in the home children of Israel believe, and I am the Muslim. Allah Almighty replied, no, O Firawn, well you had surely destroyed him before and were of the corrupt ones. So friends, he has always been ignored throughout his life and missed all the opportunities granted by Allah Almighty to repent and believe. Allah Almighty mentioned in the Quran, so today we will save you in the body that you may be those who succeed you in sign, and in it many among the people of our sign are headless. The new journey of Bani Israel after the end of Firawn. So, friend, those who, while crossing the Red Sea, Jibreel was riding alongside Musa. It is said that with each hoof of the horse that struck the ground, the soul of transferred and grass grew instantly from it. Reports say that man named Al-Samri from Bani Israel observed this and he took the dust of horse foot. Bani Israel while with Musa continued their journey towards Jerusalem. Jerusalem was at that time was a place full of sinners and disobeyers. Musa said to his people, O my peoples, enter the holy land Palestine, which Allah Almighty has assigned to you, and turn not back in flight, for then you will be returned as loser. They said, O Musa, in it, this holy land, are a people of great strength, and we shall never enter it till they leave it. When they leave, then we will enter. However, except for two men from the entire Bani Israel who believed and agreed to follow the command of Allah Almighty, rest refused to listen to Musa and rejected their faith, despite witnessing the sign of Allah Almighty and the miracle of Firawn, and started to Qur'an as two men of those who feared Allah Almighty and on Allah Almighty and bestowed His grace. They were Yushu and Caleb. Said, assault them through the gate, for when you are in victory will be yours. And put your trust in Allah Almighty if you are believers. Indeed, mentioned in the Quran, people who disbelieved and had lost their faith in Allah Almighty said to Musa, O Musa, we shall never enter it as long as they are there. So go and your Lord and fight you too. We are sitting right here. Friends, Prophet Musa supplicated to Allah Almighty in response to their ignorant words. O my Lord, I have power only over myself and my brother. So separate us from the people who are the firstborn, rebellions and disobedient to Allah Almighty. Mentioned in the Quran. So friends, Allah Almighty punished those who disobeyed and rejected faith. They were made to wander in the desert for 40 years. They were lost and moving without any destinations. Allah Almighty says in Quran, therefore this holy land is forbidden to them for 40 years. In distractions, they will wander through the land. So be not sorrowful over the people who are the forsaken mentioned in the Quran. So friends, worship of the golden calf. Allah Almighty appointed Musa alayhi salam to meet him to Kuhetur. The duration was the 30 days and Musa was commanded by Allah Almighty to fast for 30 days before meeting him. Musa left for the mission and assigned Firawn to take care of Bani Israel. And he said, do right and not follow the way of the corrupt. So, when Musa left for his appointment with Allah Almighty, Al-Samri melted some gold and transferred into a calf-shaped figure. He threw the dust that he took from the hovel of Jibril horse, due to which the cow started producing a sound that made Bani Israel believe that it has some miraculous powers. Then a Samri took out of the fire for them a statue of a calf which seemed to love. They said, "This is your Ilah," mean God, and he Ilah God of Musa, but Musa has forgotten his God. So friends, Prophet Harun, tried his best to remind them of the truth, but they failed. Bani Israel started to worship the golden calf and the absence of Prophet Musa. Their faith weakened. They said, "We will not stop worshipping it until Musa turned to us." Musa returned and got extremely angry seeing such ignorant behavior. Out of anger, threw the tables of Torah on the ground and grabbed his brother by his beard. Asked Harun, "Why did not stop them?" Harun replied, "O son of my mother, says me, not by my beard, nor by my head. Verily, I feared lest he should say, You have caused a division among the children of Israel, and you have not respected my words," mentioned in the Qur'an. So, friends, Al-Samri was crushed by Musa, and Musa prayed to Allah Almighty, "O my Lord, forgive me and my brother and make us enter into your mercy, for you are the most merciful for those who show mercy." Allah Almighty granted them forgiveness except for those who worshipped the golden calf. The calf was discarded in the sea. Allah Almighty mentioned in Quran and said, "And remember when Musa said to his pupils, O my pupils, verily you have wronged yourselves and worshipping the calf. So turn in repentance to your Creator and kill yourselves. The innocent kill the wrongdoers among you. That will be better for you with your Lord than He accepted your repentance. Truly He is the one who accepts repentance, the most merciful." The Bani Israel, due to their disbelief and rebelievers' nature, they faced various claims and tests. The life of Bani Israel in a different country. Allah Almighty best word is mercy by Bani Israel, despite their arrogance and disobedience. They were provided with food from various places easily. Allah Almighty granted them manna and quails and asked them to consume from what is lawful. Bani Israel complained to Musa for their thirst. Then Musa prayed to Allah Almighty to believe their thirst. Allah Almighty asked Musa to hit a rock with his stick. So friends, and when Musa did so, 12 springs poured from the rock, mercifully one for each tribe of Bani Israel. However, Bani Israel continued to be complaining about the various rewards and boundaries of Allah Almighty and asked for more and more. They said to Musa, Musa, we cannot endure one kind of food. So, invoke your Lord for us to bring forth for us of what the earth grows. Its herbs, its cucumbers, its palm, wheat or barley, its lentils and its onions. At their increasing demands and ungratefulness, Musa said, would you exchange that which is better for that which is lower? Go you down to any town and you shall find what you want. So friend, due to their thankless and complaining attitude towards all the favors of Allah Almighty, they faced the wrath of Allah Almighty and wandered in the deserts of many years. Although they have seen the signs of Allah Almighty being favored by Allah Almighty with food and water constantly, they continued being haughty and ungrateful. Bani Israel said to Musa, O Musa, we will not believe in you until we see God openly. So friends, Musa them for the meeting with Allah Almighty, where they all were captured by the thunderstorm which they could not face and died. Musa prayed to his Lord to forgive the wrongdoers and grant them mercy. And Musa chose out his people 70 of the best men of the hour appointed time to place meeting. And when they were seized with a violence earthquake, he said, O my God, O my Lord, if it had been your will, you could have destroyed them and me before would you destroy us the deeds of the foolish ones among us. It is only your trial by which you lead astray whom you will and keep guided whom you will. You are your holy protector. So forgive us and have mercy on us, for you are the best of these who forgive. Mentioned in the Holy Quran. Allah Almighty said, hold firmly to what we have given you. The drought means Turat. And remember that which is therein, act on its commandments, so that you may fear Allah and obey Him. So, friends, Bani Israel were made alive by Allah Almighty, but again denied all the signs and favors of Allah Almighty due to the stubborn behavior of Bani Israel. Allah Almighty is discontinued, granting them any favor of the guidance. So friends, death of Prophet Musa. Narrated Abu Huraira, the angel of death was sent to Musa, and when he went to him, Musa slapped him, severely spoiling one of his eyes. The angel went back to his Lord and he said, you sent me to slave who does not want to die. Allah destroyed restored his eye and said, go back and tell him to place his hand over the back of an ox, for he will be allowed to lie for several years equal to the number of hairs coming under the hand. So the angel came to him and told him the same. The Musa asked, O my Lord, what will be then? He said, death will be then. So Musa said, let it be now. He asked Allah Almighty that he bring him near the So land at the distance of stones through Allah Almighty. Messenger said, where I hear, I would show you the grave of Musa by the way near the red sand hill, mentioned in the Al-Bukhari. So friends, the was story of Prophet Musa. Allah Hafiz.